Just before you guys get into the podcast, I'll let you guys know that me and Ben started a podcast a little over a year ago called Lost Land of BS that we reference. But we've since decided that we're just going to post it on this Fab Four Fellas channel and get Chuck and Jude in here and some other guests just to keep the ball rolling on uploads on Fab Four Fellas. Hopefully, we get them like every other week, and then the Jeep content and other content the weeks other. So, hope you guys enjoy.
Cast is back, fellas. It's back and better than ever.
Once again, I'm Simon.
I'm Ben. We got
And
Simon's face today. Today I'm gonna be playing Fortnite. Just because I don't have a camera at my dorm. I don't have a camera, so you get to watch me play
but
Fortnite.
it is better than the old ones because it was just audio.
Yeah.
But so we're doing over Zoom because we're a little far away. Ben's up in college at Ohio Wesleyan,
Oh
and
woo! Oh yeah!
I'm here at in Cincy at my house in at UC. So. And you guys get a little gameplay. It's gonna be like you're scrolling your phone on TikTok, and you get like the ASMR or Subway Surfers at the
Ready?
bottom of the
Here's the
video.
ASMR they get. You ready?
So
Oh,
hopefully it's not glitched because on my screen it's super glitched.
oh. Well, hey, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, I guess. So I
So,
guess kicking things off,
yeah.
uh, you're playing Fortnite. What do you think about the OG Fortnite being back?
I'm a big fan of it. I like to go shifty shafts every single time.
Yeah,
For some reason, it doesn't show me the landmark names, but that's okay. I know what they all are. Loot Lake.
that's flipping sick.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of Wi. I have no Wi-Fi. If you can tell, I got the little
Yeah,
red
I could
X.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why it's all glitched. Hopefully the recording isn't all glitched like I'm seeing. But
Yeah. I'm sure it will be, but it's fine.
so should we just do like an update in our lives or something?
Yeah, that works. We got a few
Okay,
topics I'd like to get into, but we can start with the update.
go ahead. Start with your update.
I'm a freshman at OU studying business administration. Um, it's not my ideal college, but I'm starting to get used to it pretty much. We're doing a pretty cool thing in one of my classes. It's called entrepreneurial mindset. Um, Next week, we're actually going to this building that has a full-on metal and woodworking shop, and we're going to make up to scale prototype for a new styled suitcase holder for hotels because those haven't been updated. That's been brought to our attention by my professor. So we get
Like the little
to
cart pushy thing.
no, like in your room that like it folds open and you can put your
Oh,
suitcase on.
okay. I feel like that works pretty good. Why you need an updated one?
Well, with the new ones, like the new suitcases, the really big ones, they're heavier, they're wider,
Hmm.
larger. They don't fit on it as well.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is just make a bigger one?
Well, see, that's what you think. But the one I'm
Oh.
making actually, it's gonna have dual purpose. Okay.
Hmm.
It's gonna be an ironing table and a suitcase holder because when have you ever not needed to iron something?
So here's my thought on this. Why can't you just use the ironing board that they already have as a suitcase holder and put your suitcase on top of the ironing board?
Because it's really skinny. The ironing board is really skinny.
But you can level it out.
No, no, no. Well, yeah, I guess you could, but it's just I'm just gonna make a new one. All right.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
great idea.
yeah. So what's your update?
Just doing the usual. I was on co-op last semester with Maxwell Construction.
Mhm.
Uh, I like that. I enjoyed it. Don't know if it's still right for me, the whole construction management field. I've been working at Sunder House Auto Body. If you wreck your car, bring it to Sunder House Auto Body. We'll fix
I
it so you
actually
can go
just
to
wrecked
Mars.
my car. I didn't bring it to you.
Well, that's your issue. It's going to
Yep.
be wrecked for a long time. So,
Yeah.
but I enjoy working there, and I enjoy working construction management too. But I'll just see how the road paves out.
Do
Just
you
taking classes
do
right
you see
now.
yourself staying at Sunder House for like for a while if you don't end up liking construction management? Maybe take it over.
See, my plan as of right now is finish out my degree. So I got another
Like a backup.
about 3.5 years left of that because it's a 5-year program.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd like to go into more residential stuff because I've been working on like commercial, but I like to explore the residential side because that's kind of how I grew up in the residential construction with my dad being a residential electrician. So I'd enjoy that more. But if I don't get into that or I just don't enjoy it as much as I think, I'd probably consider going back to Sunder House and learning how to paint cars and doing everything with that
Yeah.
because I think there's a lot of opportunity to grow there as well.
It's funny you say that. You bring that up because that was one of the topics I wanted to talk about. Recently my TikTok's gotten on like the motivational side. Okay,
Oh yeah.
so we're gonna get a little motivation on the Lost Land of BS today.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So what are you thinking?
so you know we can really dive into this topic if we really want to because we got Chuck and Jude, pretty
Chuck and Jude.
good
Okay.
pretty good examples of what. Oh, I got my first fight here. Dead. Didn't
They're
stand a chance.
electricians now.
Yeah.
I think they were featured on one of our things. I'm not sure if they're in at the near yet, but
Well,
they
even
both
then,
started an
they were on
apprenticeship.
our Fab Four Fellas YouTube channel. That
Oh yeah. Hopefully you
not
guys
sure
will
what happened
watch
with that,
that.
but yeah.
Hey, actually, okay, we can get dive into that later,
Okay, okay. I got another fight
but
here,
yeah, go on about Jude and Chuck.
but they're a really good example to show that you don't have to go to college to be successful. Okay. Oh boy. Um,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
like that's one. Oh boy. Hold up. I'm cooked.
A lot of people
Um.
think
Ah.
you're not going to be making a bunch of money if you don't go to college, but
Yeah.
I think success isn't valued on how much money you're making, which it does play a factor in that because
Especially
your
these
life is going
days.
to
Yeah.
be easier and you're going to be able to enjoy more time and stuff like that if you have more money. But I think ultimately it's you're enjoying what you're doing, and it seems like Chuck and Jude enjoy what they're doing as of right now. So I'd
Yeah.
say they're on a successful path.
But I mean, I think people like our parents' age, not yours because your dad's an electrician, but like my parents, they kind of thought that college was the only option. Um,
Yeah.
and now that I'm at college, I'm not gonna I disagree at some extent, say because that's not the only option, but I do think I'm glad I went to college because I enjoy the classes I'm taking and I enjoy what I'm learning. But I mean, I think people who go into trade are also they're gonna be just as successful as I am because they're 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 learning things that I'm not necessarily learning in school because they're learning things on the field. And a lot of things that people learn are not always in school. It's when you're actually doing it hands on, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's the best way I learn. I mean, the good thing about construction management is the classes that I'm taking, it's a little bit hands-on. Like we have a lab that we go outside and we measure stuff. We know how to read elevations and stuff like that. So a lot of my classes are hands-on, and that's how I learn. So it does help not sitting there and being bored all the time. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I think it's up to the person to make the most of the experience that they're in, as if it's college or in the trades. There's always people that are gonna go into the trades and like ultimately fluke out of the trades because they hate it, they
Yeah.
don't want to be there, and stuff like that. And the same thing with college.
Yeah.
It's
You
ultimately what you want to do, you should do it
you
because
don't know
then
what you
you're
want to do
gonna
until you try it. You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah.
Like
And if college isn't working for that, there's other paths and ways to be successful in your own way.
exactly. Now, one of the TikToks I saw, it was saying like enjoy the your last teenage years before you have a 9 to 5 every single day and you're working for someone else, you're not working for yourself. I took that as like that's what everyone tells me life is going to be like. Why does it have to be like that? Why can't it be like I work on my own terms and I work when I want, I don't work when I want? Like that's why I'm kind of going into business management because I want to
Yeah.
manage my own company and I want to at the end of the day I want to work for myself and I don't want to work for other people.
No, I agree with that, but I think it's funny that you brought up the point of like enjoying your youth age and stuff like that because I've also seen a lot of TikToks of like something like that. But then also there's the other factor of like, why don't you work hard when you're young? So then when
Yeah.
you're older, you can retire and not worry about money and not have to continue work for a long time. So I think it's like a two-way road. there. And like, I know I enjoy working. I like making money. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want it to be 70 hours a week, but I do enjoy making money and I'm still young. So I don't know. I think it's hard to pick and choose because you kind of put in a situation that you feel like you have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
But I think just finding a good balance of everything is important,
Yeah.
especially at our age.
Yeah. I agree. Like I over winter break, I know you worked a lot. I worked a lot. Um, I know the one paycheck I had, it was like over 90. It was over like 90 hours that I worked in 2 weeks, just because, you know, yeah, I want to get the money, but I also enjoyed what I was doing because, working at Perfect North, I find it pretty fun. It's not necessarily hard work, but I don't know. I just think people, if they find what they want to do, they'll enjoy work and they'll want to work more. But like people who start working because they think they just need money, they're gonna jump into something that they don't like, and then they're just wasting their time. Yeah, they're getting a paycheck, but they're not enjoying what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've died twice now, I've
Yeah, yeah, I'm
noticed.
kind of focused on the talking and not the game as much.
Yeah, obviously.
It's a good
But
excuse to have, don't you think?
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
What other topics you had to talk about?
that was a big one. That was the big one I had. You got any?
Okay. Well, I kind of going into the Fab Four Fellas that we brought up earlier.
Let's go
Um,
into it. Why don't
so
we?
you kind of went off to college. Sella kind of went off to college. Chuck's always working. Chuck was never really big on the whole videotaping and posting stuff, but he
Yeah,
was there
Chuck. Oh, he
for
was never a
the
fan of the
ride.
camera. He liked what you guys would do. He didn't like the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. But also Jude, he enjoyed it and he wishes we could still do it. I've talked to him a lot about it, but I mean, he works 5, 6 days a week most weeks,
Hmm.
and it's hard to find time with everyone. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen those guys in a few weeks, so it's hard
Um,
to even living in Cincinnati seeing each other.
yeah.
But I've brought it onto myself, and I should be posting as we're recording this video. I should be posting later tonight a
Are you posting
video
a
on the
recap?
channel. I'm not. It's not a recap, but I'm gonna kind of switch it up. We have the channel. We might as well post on it. So I've done a lot of stuff on my Jeep recently, and I thought, why don't I just record the process and kind of take you guys on along on the ride of building my Jeep up a little bit. So I've got exciting things, and I have a video coming out tonight on the Fat Four Fellas channel,
There
and
you
I'm
go.
hoping to post videos maybe every other week, maybe once a month. Depends on like how much I'm working on my Jeep on my
Yeah.
free time, but I'd like to start doing that stuff and also kind of in the future maybe buy like a project truck, like slap an engine in or
Hey, hey, I
some
got one for you.
Ford freaking Ranger. But also like dirt bikes, working on dirt bikes. I like me and Ben a few years ago, we bought a little dirt bike that was a cheap dirt bike and just literally slapped a new carb in it and sold it for double what we bought it for.
Yeah, that was
So
fun to do together and just kind of learn like what it takes to build an engine.
yeah,
Because I know you
so
and Tyler had to redo the bottom end, right, or top end.
it was literally just a car, but I
Oh,
mean,
oh,
I mean, it was really easy. But I mean, there's money to be made there, and I'd like to like gain more knowledge
yeah.
in the whole engine because honestly, I don't know anything
Hmm.
about how an engine works. And I mean, I know some stuff about components and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
just the whole like building an engine
yeah. I mean, that
sounds
was kind of a fun
fun
thing
to
I
me.
learned about when I rebuilt that Jeep, or not the Jeep, that Ranger I got.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily rebuild it, but like I replaced the head gaskets, had to tear it all the way down to the block and then put it back. So I mean, I don't, I didn't know half the stuff I was touching. Good thing Chuck was there to help me, and you were over there a few times. But that was just a fun experience to have, just to have something like that and work on it. But
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, just learning something new. And it's like it's a skill that like you're gonna need.
Yeah,
ultimately your cars are gonna shit out, and you're gonna either have to know how to fix it or pay someone an a crazy amount of money to
yeah,
fix it
no,
because
completely
ultimately
agree.
it's too much to take it to a mechanic and fix the car.
Yeah,
Why not
because
just do it yourself?
they're gonna get every dollar they can at a body shop
Oh yeah,
or at a
100%.
stop place like that. Um, but yeah, no, I totally agree. Um, not to steal
Mm.
content from the Fab Four fellows, but what can we get a little update on the Jeep? Like what you ended up doing with it?
So,
Or are you
uh,
gonna send them just to that channel?
no, we can get an update. I mean, there's been a long process over the past few months that I've been kind of doing stuff to it, but the stuff that I recorded was just like the past week. So I guess we could start from a few months back.
Yeah.
A few months back, there actually is a video on Fat Four Fellows of me putting a new transmission in it. So it was out of commission for a while with that the old transmission being blown in it. So
Hmm.
we put a new transmission in, a new clutch, and then ran that for a while, and then ended up blowing a rear U joint in the rear drive shaft, and so it just sat there for a little bit, and it had the top off, and it was cold out. It was getting rained on. I kind of neglected it. I neglected it a lot, but and then I just got a wild hair up my ass one day and decided I needed to do something about it. So I pulled it in, cleaned up the carpet all nice, took all the interior out, cleaned it all up. It smelled very bad from like mold probably and stuff like that, but cleaned it all up. And then I put a little bit of new section of carpet in. It looks trashy, but I mean, that carpet was just trash in general.
Yeah.
So did that, cleaned all the seats. Um, I fixed pod lights. I always had those pod lights on there. So I put a new fuse in that to get them going. I wired a switch into the dash for those pod lights. I put new fenders on, and because my fenders were all messed up, I somehow hit a mailbox one night, or but
Yeah, or something like that.
something like that. But I put new fenders on, put turn signals in, seat covers, sub and amp, and a lot of that stuff that I just said was in that last video
Yeah.
that should be up at this point that you guys seeing this. So
Yeah.
I've got some stuff in the future too. With actually my cousin bought me new some axles, some Rubicon axles, so it's a big upgrade. So eventually it's going to be a big video on replacing the axle, doing an axle swap. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for that channel. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get um a ton of videos out, but it's gonna be at least something to keep that channel alive.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's very good.
Yeah.
So, kind of talking about you a little bit more in this podcast. Uh, Ben got a girlfriend
Oh
over the
boy.
summer. So give us a little detail on how that happened and how it's going.
It's funny you say that. We just celebrated our 6 month anniversary not too long ago. Um, we actually
Congratulations.
met. Thank you. We met in Florida on our senior trip. We kind of had mutual friends. She actually liked one of my friends, um, and we just kind of hung out, hit it off, and then it kind of just escalated from there. Came back from Florida and just realized that we liked each other. It's been history since then. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm really enjoying it. I really like her.
Yeah. So you seems like you're driving back and forth to Findlay a lot.
Yeah,
You guys hang
I
out a lot?
we do. I was just up there yesterday, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds about right.
I actually so I remember I just for the OG listeners here, we're talking about Ben getting a new car.
Mm-hmm.
Ben finally got himself a new car.
Yeah, he did.
I got a 2022 Kia K5. Um, I'm not saying it's the best car in the
I could
world.
barely hear you.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
Hear me better now?
Yeah.
All right. It's not the best car in the world. It gets me from point A to point B, and it's a little nicer than my old Camry I had, so I'm not complaining. Um, my parents helped me pay for it a little bit. Well, a lot of it, but that's all right. Yeah, I got it, and I've had it for about, I don't know, 8 months or so, and I've put roughly 12,000 miles on it already.
God grief, dude.
Yeah, so we're keeping it busy. We're keeping it busy, keeping the miles up on her.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I guess you do come home a decent amount for being what, 2.5 hours away, right?
Yeah, just under 2.5. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you do come home a decent amount, so
I
that puts
do.
some miles
Yeah,
on it.
I come home to work. I was actually just home for my birthday weekend. That
Happy
was
birthday.
rudely interrupted by my brother's engagement. Um, but it's fine.
Rudely.
Yeah, rudely, but it's okay. Love them. Congratulations, Bryce and Therese. You're gonna have glorious babies, and well, we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll film a podcast at the wedding.
oh, now that's soon to come. Soon to come. Although it won't be soon at all
So
because I heard next January.
next January. I feel like that's a good timing. I mean, most people
Oh,
get engaged and then wait a while for the actual wedding to prepare and stuff like that. I mean, it takes a lot of preparation for that shit stuff.
yeah. And they gotta find venues, stuff like that. So, but
Yeah, I mean that
I'm gonna
makes
be the
sense.
best man of that, and I've got my speech almost written. I got a pretty good start. Bryce doesn't like it, but I'm a big fan.
I've also heard that as the best man duty, it's your job to plan the bachelor party.
Yep, yep. And many of you might know my brother. We're gonna start at church, just because that's what he'll want to do. So we're gonna do it for him. And then we'll shortly end up at a strip club. But I mean, he didn't hear that from me. So
Yeah, I heard there's some talks and rumors about booking flights to Vegas here soon.
yep, I love my girlfriend, but she told me if I went to Vegas, she would call off the wedding because she just thinks I'll cheat on her. But that's she thinks that I'm gonna get with a stripper. So
Hey, I mean, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what
I
they
see.
say.
I tried to pull that card. It just didn't go too well.
Yeah, I don't imagine it would.
Oh, yeah, but that's okay. That's okay.
Okay, I guess I'd say wrapping things up around here.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
at like 22
let's
minutes.
let's see the future of Lost Lands BS because I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of out of the blue. Ben just
Yeah,
said, "You want to just hop on Zoom and film a little 20-30 minute podcast?" So, I
yeah,
mean,
that's right.
what's your ideas of what's gonna happen here on future?
I'm gonna die in Fortnite. That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, future, I don't know. You wanna get back into it a little bit, or do you just want to do it occasionally? What are we thinking?
I mean, what's your thoughts of getting back into? Is that once a week, once every 2 weeks?
I mean, I don't do much here at school. I go to class, I come play Fortnite, and I hang out with my friends in the evening because they have lacrosse practice. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do every 2 weeks, every once a month, whatever you want to do, sounds good to me.
I think every 2 weeks would be good because then
Yeah,
we talk about our lives more and
yeah,
have it's not like we're talking all the time, so we
yeah,
can share stories and stuff like that. This is kind of like an opening up podcast for the first one
yeah,
here in
yeah.
the new
No, I
run,
agree.
but I think the future can be, I don't know, a little more entertaining and talking about some, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could even bring up Logan Bruner on UC Barstool if we wanted to.
Oh my God, I was actually thinking about that earlier today. Like, should we talk about it on the podcast? Stick 'em up.
He's the
Oh
Rizzler, they
yeah.
say.
He sure is. I'm not sure how I talked to him a little bit. I'm not sure how he feels about that being on Barstool,
He
but
mentioned that it wasn't his brightest moment, but I'm a fan of it. So
yeah, I mean I love that guy. I love that
yeah,
video. I think It's a good look. Good look for the Bruner family.
For sure. For sure.
All right, well, let's wrap it up here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you
We'll
guys for watching. Hopefully, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
maybe next time Simon will hop on Fortnite with me. Get some
Maybe.
duos going.
Absolutely.